these videos are getting longer, and that's because the last time I put a video out was it's doing it now. Hopefully. I decided to do it not as part of like a couple of videos. I decided just to put them all together. And as a result, so instead of being like 20 minutes to upload, this one has taken 2 hours. That's why it wasn't done last night. Obviously it wasn't done last night. It's doing it now. And the faster I am, well, I'm just going to be doing the basic. This one, I think one more after that's just going to be like a set of clips, like as part of one thing. I think this time there'll be all the dino charge things because well, I can't really well, the Ninja Steel stuff's going to be shorter because I think I think the idea of doing a line fire Megazord, it won't fit on the screen, and I reckon it's the biggest waste of money ever because it was like £100, as opposed to these which would be 30. I don't really. You know what? Enough talk. Let's just get to the things first. Let's do the smaller Zords first. This is what the Stegozord looks like. Hello, Stegozord. Now I don't have any dino charges, but there's a thing on the bottom which it does it for you. I think it does the effect for you. So if it's a dino charge, it does the thing for you. You know, inclusion of the gimmick from Japan, like so yeah. His mouth opens. Warning, that's not how human mouths go. You can put the dino charger in there. And there's a switch here when you're supposed to get it out, but if you put it the other way, if you just move it backwards, this is what happens. So the spike comes out. I don't recall this being used on the show, although that could just be my terrible memory. So let's just reset that. That's what we've done. And then we get the Tricerazord. And it's coming off a lot brighter than it is on camera. It's coming off as more like a red colour on camera. It's like a darker pink, but I don't think I can help that because it's just, I don't know. Right, so their mouth opens as well. You can put the charger in there if you want. And then this is what this is supposed to do. The drill comes out. And you can't, and it's spring loaded, you can't lock it in place when this is still out. You've got to move this back before you can lock it in place. And yeah, like the Stegozord, you can remove the drill. It doesn't really do anything apart from look strange. You can, if you want, you can also swap the things around. And this is strange enough on its own. This is what the thing looks like with both parts. And this is what this looks like with both parts. So that's strange enough on its own. Now I don't own the other. I don't own the other separately sold Zords. That's no Raptor. That's no Para. There's no Anklo and there's no Packy. Which means I can't really show you if that'll happen because, well, I don't know what I was thinking. I think I was just too laser focused on getting all the Megazords, and that's right. It's got all the Megazords and not so much the auxiliary stuffs because well, technically they count as auxiliary, but I don't have those. Okay, I do also have the Spinozord, so that's coming up, but because you know I'm missing the Anklo and the Packy, I can't really show you anything else aside from ooh, it's another dinosaur you can use, which means that one's probably going to be a relatively shorter clip. Right, here's what the outer frame T-Rex Zord looks like. I'm going to have to move the camera. Actually, this works surprisingly well. Look, this will bode well for the Megazord things. Look, his mouth opens like the Japanese version, which obviously, and there should be a button in there, that black thing there. You can press that, and this is what happens. This comes up. I don't really know what purpose that serves, but it's there. If you seriously want to see that. Now, because of cost cutting things, this one doesn't have any sounds, but that's completely fine. But if you look really closely, they've still molded the speaker here, and they've still molded the button you push. When I don't think they would have. I don't think that's necessary. They could have just left it blank, like on the other side. Bond of America, why'd you do that? So now we go to the Henkei. Sorry mate, I don't live in Japan, I live in the United Kingdom. Look, what happens is you remove this tail. There we are. You go on the side and you can probably still see that it's right there in it. It's got like an empty space here. And then what you do is you're supposed to... Oh, good grief, this is difficult. You're supposed to kind of move this around so he's taller. And yes, he is his own legs as well. That's not strange at all. And then you just open these like that. Hello. That's me. That's class me material right there. And then what you do is you just spin this entire thing around. Right, and that'll probably do it for that. Right, so I'm probably just going to keep the camera in this spinning just so I don't have to go around fiddling with it. What you do next with the Stegosaurus is you're supposed to remove this top part. There we are. And then you fold the legs in like this, so like a yellow bar pattern is formed. I found that strange. Why is it a bar pattern? Why is it a thing? Look, and there's his fist. He's got a fist coming out of his bum. That's a bit painful, you think? That opens, his mouth opens, and you can insert a dino charger into these parts. There's no read, obviously, because it doesn't have any sounds, but you can if you want, even though it basically won't serve any purpose. I'll show you what the combined Megazord looks like after we've handled the Tricera. It's basically the same thing, apart from you don't remove the weapon at all. You just fold the legs in. See, and this happens. So then what? And then oh good grief! I'm jumping the gun here. Look, you've got this tail piece, and this opens up like this. And no, for some reason you cannot store the helmet inside of this, like the Japanese version. I don't know why they cut that out. That's actually a pretty pointless thing to cut out. Instead, you're expected to store the helmet inside of the legs here, in there. I don't know how you're supposed to do that. It's like a bit of a cramped space. I wouldn't be too surprised if some helmets broke in there. I'm not entirely sure if that's completely fine or safe for the actual thing, but what I do know is I would have been more pleased if they just kept it, so you could just keep it inside of this. So what you're supposed to do is turn this upside down like this. Oh, and I've completely forgotten what set of pegs it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the bottom. You're supposed to plug it into the bottom set of pegs, holes, and this does seriously not want to stand up. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't. And then what you do is you move the head up like this. Yeah, this is wonk. I think it's because of how long I've had it for. You can see his head there. It's so nice. Head has got like red markings on. And then what you do is you grab the helmet. Here it is. And then you just plug it onto his head. And to stop it from falling over, I'm having to hold it. So you stay there, and I'll just show you the weapon here. It's right here. This is basically the same thing as it would be, but instead of being like this, it's all the way out like this. And it's like a sword. This is rubber, which I don't mind. What I do mind is the fact there's no paint on it. I mean, the Japanese version, in my opinion, looks the best because of all the different colours. This is just yellow, and I wouldn't mind, but Dino Charger hasn't got a yellow ranger. I still think it's a good weapon though for a Megazord, as it fits the dinosaur theme. Although, well, technically, if you wanted, you can't. You can still attach it back onto the Megazord if you want. So it looks a bit more like this. But that looks incredibly wrong, so let's not. Right, this is what the final Megazord looks like, in case you haven't seen it already, and I've got a terrible memory, so I won't be able to tell anyway. Right, look, and we're going to jump to the next bit, which is going to be the Terror Megazord. And this is what the Terrorzord looks like. It won't fit on the frame yet. I have tested it, and yes, I can show you what it looks like in full. There we are. And this is what the top looks like. They've also secretly kept in the lightning theme. Even though there's two things. I think they were basically forced to because it's detail. But I'm also starting to think now that well, they didn't really want. I don't think they wanted to use the lightning theme for Dino Charge Gold because because the combination of this and Kyujin over here is called in Japan Riding Kyujin. and I think riding fist asunder. I don't know, I can't remember. But it's one of those things, and I think they were basically didn't really want to use this under theme with Kyoryu Gold, no, Dino Charge Gold. Right, enough me talking. Let's just get to the combination, which is dubbed Riding Kyoryugen in Japan, and not here because, well, Terra Charge, no, I think, you know what, I've completely forgotten. That's what they've called. I think they just referred to it as Dino Charge Megazord Stego Tricera Terraformation or something. It's really confusing. I don't know why they made it as confusing as they did in America, but I guess I'll stop complaining. Let's just get to the combination. I'll just have to move the camera back a bit, although this is relatively near to the end of the desk, so if I was to put it any backwards, you'd fall off. Well, not you, the camera. I'm referring to the camera. Just move the Zord out the way. We're just bringing Dino Charge Megazord from the clip before, and if we just move the camera up slightly, there we go. You can see here that if we remove the yellow thing and literally just leave it as it is, these pegs here, these holes, is where the Terrazord is supposed to go. Now this is probably going to look really, really clunky and really, really unprofessional, but I'm doing the best I can because this is one really, really big thing. Look. I'll get to what this cannon does in a minute. After this combination, so what you're then supposed to do is supposed to use the top pegs on this thing, and you're supposed to use holes, and you use these pegs here, and that's what gets it to stand. See, and then you remove the helmet on the Dino Charge Megazord and plug it on into this stick, which is, to be honest, confusing enough as it is, but still, good grief, there we are. I had like a bit of a difficult time getting on here, but we can spin this around, and yeah, he's basically using it as a jetpack. Then you move the camera up even more so we can remove the Terra head. And then here's the head, and before filming this I had to find the top part because it snapped off. Also just going to point out that this, I think you can move on the Japanese version, but you can't on this version. I think it's still amazing that they kept in a reference to when oh, what was his name? His name's Fury in Dino Charge. Completely forgot what his name is in Kyoryuger. But when he has control of it. So what you do is you open the top bottom jaw, and then you use this as a helmet. And I can't just be me who thinks this is really, really wonky and strange. And you know what? It should look a bit like this. And if I try to push it in anymore, it'll probably just fall off. So let's not bother with that. So yeah, I think that's the best. I think that's the best we're gonna have it. That's the best we're gonna have. It's actually staying on, and it's actually sort of wonky. So let's just cut to the next bit where it's completely in Zord form. And now we can show you what this Zord does on its own. And yes, this is the entire thing, as if you haven't figured that out already. Right, there is a port in here for a Dino Charger. Now, because this doesn't have any sounds, they decided to make it work like this. Good. If I just remove this, you can see this is what it does. This is how it's supposed to work. See, this goes back and it goes forward. That's all this does. I haven't quite really figured out how it's supposed to work. Oh yeah, see, there's like a spring mechanism in there, and this pushes it down. Yeah, because this moves and all that stuff. Oh yeah, so you just have to move this part. It's really, really confusing actually. So let's just get to the part where we do the Megazord, because I've hinted it for long enough. What you do is you separate these two parts right here, and we'll get to the legs first because it won't be able to stand without them. He won't stand for anything. Ha 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 ha, boom. You just move the legs in place. I'm gonna have to move this up slightly so I'll have more camera room. There we are. And you've actually got to have it so the set of clips is at the top. And I've completely forgotten how this is supposed to work. Bear with me. Hang on. Yeah, I think I've got it. Oh, I think I've got it. Oh yeah, there we are. So I've had to just spin this around so it goes up like this. There. It's like a bit. It's like solving a Rubik's cube and you've got no idea what you're doing, so you do it all wrong, but then solve it accidentally on purpose. You just move these claws out the way and move these feet up like this. Do. He's got some legs. It's kind of like the old Skylander SWAT Force where you can separate the characters like in between, like down the middle and stuff. Look, here's the top part. What you do for this is you fold in the insides or outside of the wings and just fold these parts downwards for arms. And then you do another SWAT Force and just combine them down the middle. And it's not pointing to go on. There we are. And then you get the head. This is literally it. And you stick it on like this. And no, I'm not going to include the cannons because, again, not from Curator. And this is what the finished Megazord looks like. That's another, yeah, Megazord there. And yes, I know full well that there's two Zord builder parts on the top of the shoulders. But well, I don't really want to go over another Super Mega Force and explain why they're there, because don't forget this is Band of America we're dealing with. Also, if you want, you can remove these arm parts and just use this on its own. I don't know why they chose to do that. You can also, there's also some other ports under here if you want to combine the other Zords. And they don't really tell you what to do. You could just combine it with any other smaller Zord you have at your disposal. But yeah, but I only have the other ones. I'm just checking for proof. And yes, apart from the other plastio parts, which alright, I'm failing to plug on the cannons now. Let's cut to the next bit where we do the plastio Megazord thing. Go say Ultimate. Yeah, I've got to do this one initially, so in the middle of the Dino Charge stuff, I'm having to do this Go Say Ultimate thing, like cut part way through, because I forgot to do it for Go Say when doing Go Say Great. So here we are now, look. It is a command ship, in case you can't tell, which I couldn't at first before I realised, oh hey, the TV show says this, I better leave what the TV show says. Huh. So, if I turn it over, there's some wheels. Enough talk of that. Let's just get to the part where we do the first part of combining. So, I think the only combination this has of other items is if you I think it's Ultra Go Say Great. I'm not sure, or no, it's an Ultimate Go Say Great. There's a set of there's two pegs here and there's two holes here. Oh, and this thing up here, that nodule goes into that hole. So if I just combine them like this, that's it. I think that's Ultimate Go Say Great or something. So we can now remove Go Say Great and give myself more desk space. I'll just move him into here. Oh, and now we can do the robo transformation for this thing. If I turn it over, I can do the part where I remove the legs, and they've got a really good habit of coming out of the socket, so let me just reattach them like this. I'll do the other one. So it's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to move them into position like this, then the feet come out, which will allow me to stand it up. I'll just move this up here, and then these headers, they do move, but you can't remove them. You have to open these things out on this one, otherwise it won't go in place. You've got, I think that's Ultimate Dragon, Ultimate Shark, Ultimate Snake, Ultimate Tiger, Ultimate Phoenix. I don't think they're given names in the show, but they have got names in Goseiger. They're called Miracle Gosei headers there. So you just move them into place. And now you've got a face. And you just move the camera up even more. You separate these two things, you move them down here, with the camera, you pull them out, spin them and drop them in, the same for this side here. And now this is where things get a bit interesting. See this space, it should be where the head is, but it's not, so you open it up, and you spin it around, and you can see that's where the head is. You're supposed to spin this around, and then you close this again, and then you've got this gold thing that comes up. And there, it's going to say ultimate, and I think, I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but I think it's the second robo they're given, like a Voyager, I think it's Voyager, or ultimate, no, that's not it. Like a second robo they've got to replace the first one. Next video.